Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Morning Brews. My name is Ryan Smelt, and I am super excited about what I have planned for this week's Morning Brews segment. If you were unaware, it is Monday. Welcome to Monday, and this is my favorite day of the week. Besides the cliche reasons every entrepreneur says, this is the day that you get your first episode of Morning Brews of the week, the first episode of War Stories on the Veteran Talk Show of the week, as well as the release of our 1-hour shows for Business and Brews, and of course for the Veteran Talk Show. So around 11 o'clock is when Business and Brews launches, and this week I put the extended version of the Veteran Talk Show out early, so be sure to check those out. And today we are talking about choosing your hard. I'm especially excited about this episode and our talking points because I am going to be referencing another veteran doing phenomenal things. But the 3 bullet points I have for you is number 1, putting in the effort. 2, not caring. 3, if it was easy, everyone would do it. Number 1, putting in the effort. I'm going to talk about building habits, learning new things, and helping other people when you feel like you need help. This is all effort and work that you have to put in. I'm going to circle back at the end to my main point, which is choose your heart. So building habits, we know it takes around 21 days to build a new habit. I actually talked about this with some of the guys on my team last week, how I put in the effort to go to bed at a decent time and wake up at a decent time. And I did that consistently, obviously for more than a month, but my goal was to create that schedule and get my body used to going to bed at the same time, waking up at the same time. And as I did that more and more, there were times I would wake up and wouldn't need my alarm because my body was getting so used to it. And what I have started to do here more recently is create a habit where I don't need as much sleep as I used to. This all comes from creating those habits, staying consistent, putting in the work and the dedication. So under putting in the effort bullet point, building a habit of waking up early and getting my body used to not needing as much sleep is work. It's a lot of work. Obviously, it is, I guess you could say, working on my sleep schedule and helping my body adjust to needing less of a refuel period. I'm not talking about anything crazy like 2 or 3 hours. I'm just talking about inching it down from 8 hours to 7.5 to 7. I want to get down to only needing 6 hours of sleep consistently. And so in that, obviously that's going to be a lot of work. If I make a correction too soon, I may end up being extremely tired. But what I really want to focus on here is just because I'm spending 6 or 7 days a week going to bed, say at 10 o'clock at night, and waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning, that doesn't mean I'm not ever going to sleep in. That doesn't mean I'm not going to have one night where something goes on where I have to stay up later than 10 o'clock, or I have to wake up, or I end up waking up later than 4 o'clock in the morning. What it does mean is that I am more consistent at going to bed at 10 o'clock at night and waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning than anything else. So on those off days, 1 day a month or 2 days a month where I end up sleeping in because I want to or I can, or I end up having to stay up later. Maybe there's a show I want to go to with my friends, or there's some sort of meeting that runs long. Whatever the case may be, that doesn't affect my schedule overall. So putting in that work, building that habit, and creating a schedule where my body is so used to it that those 1 or 2 days here or there don't affect my overall goal of needing less sleep, as well as adhering to that consistent schedule of going to bed at 10 and waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning. So next I have learning new things. Of course, this can be difficult. Getting on YouTube, reading articles, learning new skills, whatever it is, whether right now I am investing in myself to learn marketing. Something I just don't consider myself very good at. Of course, I do have a lot of content that goes out, but just getting better at creating better content, better copy, better creative to reach audiences and basically increase listenership and subscriptions overall. So marketing is something new that I'm learning. I will tell you it's not easy. However, since I got out of the Army, even while I was in the Army, learning anything new has never been easy. So this is another place where you have to put in the effort. And helping other people when you feel like you need help. Sometimes that can be difficult. You're an entrepreneur, you're a business owner, and you're putting in effort to reach out, to help people, and you take a look at yourself and you're like, wow, I'm helping these people, I'm helping this person, and I just feel like I need help right now. That can be super difficult. So number 2, not caring. My goal here on this bullet point was to kind of talk about the opposite of everything we just talked about. So under putting in the effort, you're building new habits, learning new things, and helping other people. Under not caring, you're more apathetic. So letting life take advantage of you. I've been there, just kind of rolling with the punches, whatever comes up. So obviously, under this bullet point, more than likely, you are not an entrepreneur or a business owner. I'm not saying that you can't be, and I'm not saying that these people don't have these days where they're just like, oh, I'm just going to, whatever I got to do today that comes up, I'm just going to do it. But I am saying on a more consistent basis, these people are probably someone who go to work and the manager makes the schedule and they say, okay, well, that's the schedule I got to work. As opposed to an entrepreneur or business owner who is creating the schedule and then saying, okay, this doesn't work for me, or I need to make adjustments here, and putting in the conscious effort and taking control of the situation. Whereas under not caring, letting life take advantage of you, you're not taking control of anything. You're just letting it take control of you. Going with the flow. So once again, these people are maybe showing up at work. Maybe they have to deal with customers, and a customer comes in and gets angry, and they let that affect their attitude, and then they get angry. So once again, opposite of putting in the effort, instead of doing that morning meditation and taking control of their attitude, they're letting other people's attitudes take control of them. And then last here, I put staying in debt, because being in debt is hard. Getting out of debt is hard, which that would fall under the first bullet point of putting in effort. So the last thing I want to talk about, I put the cliche, if it was easy, everyone would do it. The person I want to bring up here is Dr. Robert Garcia on Design Your Paycheck. This is something he recently did a live on. Design Your Paycheck is a program that he runs, which basically says stop making excuses, stop complaining, and put the control back into your own hands and design your own paycheck. He talked about multiple streams of income, threw out ideas to people leaving comments on how they could do that, including myself. So if you do not follow him, I highly recommend following Rob Garcia. Like I said, he's doing wonderful things, and a lot of what I just talked about in this episode lines up with what he does and what he talks about. when it comes to being an entrepreneur and taking control of your income and your time and your personal health well-being. That is all I have for you today. Please share the wealth and leave us a 5-star review. It helps get the podcast to the top of the chart so other people see it and can listen to it as well. Like I said, be sure to check out today's episode of Business and Brews. It will be coming out 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you do not listen directly on the website, which the link for that is, of course, in the show notes, then it may take a little bit longer to publish, but you can always watch the premieres as well on Facebook Watch and YouTube, or listen wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to subscribe. Tell your friends to subscribe as well. My name is Ryan Smeltz, and I will see you on tomorrow's episode of Morning Brew.